What if I told you that one of the absolute most powerful tools for healing and strengthening your voice involves nothing more than a tube and a glass of water? I know, it looks a little strange, but the science behind this is completely changing how we think about vocal health.
So in this explainer, we're going to start with a problem we all know, vocal strain. Then we'll get into the surprising water solution, break down the science of how it all works, look at some incredible results, see how the whole thing evolved, and wrap up with what it really means to have an efficient voice.
All right, let's jump right in with a feeling I think we can all relate to. You know that super frustrating moment when your voice just gives up on you?
I mean, whether you're a teacher, a singer, or you're just trying to make a point in a noisy room, we have all been there. It's that universal experience of pushing your voice and then nothing. It just fails. And this is not some niche problem, right? It affects teachers at the end of a long day, singers who are pushing for that one high note, speakers who struggle to project. And on a more clinical level, it's a daily battle for people who stutter. It's a fundamental challenge for pretty much anyone who has to rely on their voice.
So, what's the fix? Well, it's not some complex machine or a fancy medication. It's bubbles. Yeah, it might look a little weird, but believe me, the results are truly remarkable.
So this is the Lax Vox technique in a nutshell. You just take a simple silicone tube, put one end in your mouth, the other in a little bit of water, and you make sound. That's it. You're basically blowing resonant, voiced bubbles. But how in the world does this actually help your voice?
Okay, let's get into the science, because this is where a really simple action reveals some pretty profound stuff. This isn't just about making bubbles. It's about fundamentally changing the physics of how your voice works.
The key concept here is something called vocal tract inertance. Now, don't let the term scare you. Just think of it like this. When you make sound through the tube into the water, you create this gentle back pressure. That pressure travels all the way back up and creates a supportive little cushion of air right at your vocal folds. This lets them vibrate with incredible ease, using way less effort.
So there are really three main things happening here. First, that tube, it actually makes your vocal tract artificially longer, which lowers the effort you need to make sound. Second, there's that positive back pressure we just talked about, which is like a gentle massage for your vocal folds. And third, the whole process naturally helps your larynx, your voice box, to just relax into a lower position, which creates way more space for a rich, resonant sound.
And just look at the difference this makes. On the left, you've got what so many of us do. High-effort, strained phonation, where our vocal folds are basically just slamming into each other. That leads to fatigue and even injury. But over on the right, with Lax Vox, you get what's called flow phonation. The muscles are relaxed, the vocal folds vibrate easily, and you get more power with way less effort.
So that's the theory. But what about the proof?